So let's look at this. This is what I'm thinking. All of this presidential shit and all of this email stuff with Hillary Clinton, all of that stuff is a distraction within a distraction. Alex Jones is a distraction from what's going on here with this Veritas bullshit and all of his ramblings and bullshit. Why, Twink? You don't know. All of his bullshit, all of this email scandal, all of this. Because this here, right here, on the news today, on Fox News, nine-year-old twins. The twins are the two pillars. If they're 9-year, the 9 is designating on a scale from 1 to, well, it'd be 10, but it's really, it goes 0 after 9. It's saying the twins are both at 9. Both pillars are both at 9. In other words, we could use this picture because I'm pretty sure that's what the fuck they're doing. Let's do this. Gordon, shut up. You don't know either. There's the blue one. Now, if we do this, let's do this like this. Let's move that down, like so. Do you understand the way they shot the picture? Let's just do it like this. I'll try and draw it. Maybe it'll make it easier for you to understand. We're going red. It's coming up over the top. You see the arc right here? See how they got the baseball field in between the two stands? You see it? It sounds to me like this thing's getting ready to go. If you look at this picture over here, this is an old picture. It's the arc. It's like the arc between Saturn and the Earth. You see? So if I was to draw you're getting the same picture that you're getting up here. But my point is, I think that this thing is, whatever is going to happen, I think it's ready to fire. Whatever this thing is, whatever it is, whether I'm close or I'm way off, whatever this thing is. Notice they're showing you the Sears Tower twice over here. That's the two pillars. You see it? I just noticed that. Why would you have that picture twice behind the two kids, which are twins? Because it's the old story. See, one male, one female. We'll do this. One negative. One positive. Do you understand? This whole picture is set up for this. So there's going to be an arc across from one side to the other. And in the center, that's where you get the explosion. If we go over here and look at this picture over here, right here in the center between the two, you get this, right? If you drop down a little bit farther, you get this. This is what I think is happening. But I want to show you one more thing, and there's always something weird that happens with me. You guys have watched my videos for a long, long time. Yesterday I did a job for a guy, okay? I kind of underbid it, but he was right around the corner, and it was just to take some limbs off a pine tree. So I charged him $135. You know, I live in a very Masonic neighborhood, so I got to talking to the guy, and he told me about his jobs and stuff, and we got off on the tangent of politics, and as we were talking, I found this guy worked for the railroad, he worked for the Mercantile Exchange, and he ran a construction company. So the guy had big money. I mean, the guy's got a property with 700 trees on it. So it's a good guy to know if you're in the tree business. Plus, guys like him are big mouths. They can get you a lot of business. So we're working. I was explaining all this stuff to him, and he told me, he goes, well, the way I see it is, he goes, I just tell people we're like in a funnel and we're going down. And I said, well, it's basically we're going down the toilet. So I knew the guy knew what I was talking about. So he wanted me to take off another limb. And, you know, by this time, he had been there for a couple hours. I figured out what the hell. So I told him, I said, well, that other limb's going to be 35. And he made a very weird statement. It makes sense now. But he goes, you've got 135 on the brain, don't you? And I didn't really know how to respond to that. I just said, well, there are those numbers again, because I'm always showing you guys the 5 and the 3 or the 3 and the 5. But I've never said 135. So he goes, you got 135 on the brain, don't you? So I just happened to run across this morning, and I'll show it to you. Makes sense. Isaiah 135. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Now that comment that guy made, he said you got 135 on the brain, and then Isaiah 135 is talking about exactly what we're talking about here. I don't know. You know what? I was looking out the window last night, and I just for a minute, I just said to myself, when did I fall and bump my head? Because it's the only thing that could explain this. I must have fallen to hit my head, and I'm in some other fucking world, because I don't remember life ever being like this before. Obviously, it's because I started seeing things, and I can piece things together. But life was never like this for me prior to all of this stuff. But for that guy to make that statement, you've got 135 on the brain. That's what he said. He goes, you got 135 on the brain, don't you? I only brought up the price one time. Do you understand how weird and bizarre this is? All of this scandal with Hillary Clinton and Trump, it's a diversion. There's something much, much bigger going on. The way they have this picture set up, the Sears Tower between each child, one negative, one male. The ark. Yes, the whole thing with the fucking in the ass and all of that, that's on a smaller scale. But on a cosmic level, from the micro to the macro, everything works the same. They're showing you a male pillar and a female. They're showing you an arc by placing this arc in the center. They're using 9-year-old twins. That means each pillar is charged to the full maximum. Even though one is a negative and one is a positive, one is ready to receive, one is ready to give. This is some fucked up shit. And the fact that they keep talking about nuclear war is telling me that what is the nuclear war? The deterrent? Are they trying to tell the creator that if you try coming down here, we're going to nuke you? I don't know. I'm not going to go in that direction. All I can do is tell you what I've seen. And what I've seen is this right here. If something's going to happen, we're so fucking close to this thing. The Cubs in the World Series, what the guys say? Oh, it's like holding the goat. The goat is the fucking penis. When you're holding your dick, you're doing one of two things. You're either taking a piss or you're jerking off, which that results in an ejaculation, which is a fucking explosion of energy, which is known as Yahweh. All I can tell you is it doesn't look good, because whoever's coming to visit, I don't think they're coming there with good intentions. I mean, even though if it may be correct what's being done, because we fucked up so bad and we're going to have to pay the penalty, it just doesn't look good. I mean, why that guy would say you've got 135 on the brain? I only said it to him one time. And it was weird how I met that guy, because I was at the grocery store in my bucket truck, and I was leaving the store, and this guy comes whipping up, and he pulls right up next to my truck, and he asked me if I was from the area, and blah, 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 and he wanted me to come over and do some treatment. It was very weird, because I don't even have any signs on my truck. But whatever. The bottom line is, pay attention, because I think the time for whatever they're going to do is extremely short. The Cubs have one more game. They call it the World Series. When you're dealing with electricity, you hook things up either in series or in parallel. Series is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a line. Parallel means that you have two. Well, you basically, parallel means the lines are set off from each other. Like this. These guys are parallel to each other. They're calling it a World Series. It's definitely an electrical term. And it always may have been the inside story that when we tell you that the Cubs win the World Series, that's the inside key for the people in the know that this thing is getting ready to go off. Why would you have this picture twice? One with a girl sitting in front of it, and one with a boy. And it's even more bizarre because there's two pillars on each side, which I've read that there's actually 4 pillars, not 2. But we're not going to get into that. The bear that you see for the Cubs here, the bear is the same as the bull or the ox, which means raw power or energy. The C, we know that C equals 3. I'm just telling you, listen, I could be way off, and I hope to fuck that every bit of information I've given you is incorrect, because it all leads up to one thing: the destruction of what this place is, either by design or by natural catastrophe. I hope that everything that I've told you is absolutely wrong, not because I've tried to deceive you, but because I don't want to see the world suffer. And I would rather be the laughing stock of the fucking planet because all my observations were wrong than to see billions of people suffering. And again, I'd like to thank the Truth Movement for doing absolutely nothing. I'd like to thank the Christian Church for sitting in your shit, in your pews in your church, and not doing anything for humanity, except aiding and abetting murders using the name of God to go and fucking slaughter people. And the governments of the world that have sided with whatever these archon things or whatever these fallen angels are. You did a good job. You bullshitted everybody right exactly where you needed them.